Welcome back, everyone, to the Healing Room. Tonight's topic of conversation is archetypes, take two. So we spoke about the archetypes in the last Healing Room, and just a quick synopsis that these archetypes are primordial patterns, energetic frequencies that reside in the collective unconscious. And at certain points in our soul's journey, we will connect with certain archetypes. And these archetypes will then reside within our personal unconscious or our subconscious mind. And there's many ways to work with the archetypes. I'm specifically teaching about the shadow aspect or the negative aspect of archetypes because I think we'll get the most bang for our buck when we focus on that. When, for example, in the meditation, we notice the mind with all of these thoughts. And the average person lives as if they are this mind with these thoughts, as if they are this ego personality. But the real self, the true self, is none of these things because we simply collect personality aspects over our lifetime and many lifetimes. And so part of the work that we're here to do is to relinquish all of these limiting programs, patterns, and beliefs that reside within the subconscious mind. And that is why meditation is so significant because we get to create a little space between ourselves, our true self, the witness, and the chattering mind and all the thoughts that it generates. It's not possible to do this type of archetypal work if there's no awareness, first and foremost, of that which is operating in the background, of that which is running the show, running my personality. So 95 to 99% of our lives are run by the subconscious mind. We are not in command. We're not the authority. We're not the author of our lives. And so we do these inquiries, we do these meditations and contemplations like, who am I? Who am I? Right? And when you start to ask that question, everything starts to dissolve because all the answers the ego gives is a no. No, I'm not this body. I'm not this personality. I'm not this name. I'm not this. I'm none of these things because one day it won't be here. None of these things are going to be here. So if I'm not all of these things, who am I? And hence the next contemplation goes to know thyself with the capital S. The small s is the ego personality. The large S self is the true self, the soul. So that contemplation of know thyself, that to me is the work of a lifetime. The work is to know who I am, why I am here, what is my purpose. We can get so caught up in the external world and all the doings and goings on, all the relationships, and then we lose ourself in that external world. So at some point, we have to retrieve ourselves. And one way to do that, one way to find or to allow the self to shine is to release or dissolve or disintegrate the non-self. And so that's where we get into all of these archetypal patterns that are operating through our personality. We want to command the archetypes. We don't want to be commanded by them. We want to run the show, not be run by something else unconsciously. So it takes effort and energy on a regular basis to activate that witness and begin to become aware of those patterns that are operating in the background that need to be called upon, need to be communed with. You can't simply get rid of things. Where a culture it's like, well, just get rid of it. Get rid of my disease, get rid of my pain and suffering. I wish it was that easy. It hasn't been that easy for me. For me, I had to do excavation of the subconscious mind to understand, why do I have this pain and suffering in my life? Why do I have these diseases in my physical body, in my mind? Why are these patterns present? Because they all serve a purpose. And the goal is to receive the gift of that purpose. Why? Why did I call upon these archetypes specifically to be in my life? What is the gift? What is the lesson to be learned? And once we learn the lessons, we can move on. We have integrated that aspect, that fragment, and then we can move on to the next part of our lives. But many times, we don't know what the inner work actually is that needs to be done. We don't have the level of awareness and understanding of what is it that I'm actually here to do. And so I am giving you some insights by working with these archetypes. And I'll give you an example of how an archetype can show up. I was at an event this past weekend, and someone there has a pattern of saying, I don't fit in, I don't belong, I feel like I'm being rejected by this community. And I'm always surprised to hear these words out of this person's mouth because they're such an integral part of the community, and yet they have a completely different experience going on inside their mind. And so at a certain point, I walked over to this person. I said, you're telling yourself a story. You're repeating this story over and over and over again. And therefore, you are concretizing your reality within this story. You are continuously believing over and over again that it's true. And because you keep speaking the same words and because you keep saying the same things, it is true for you. It's not the truth, but it's true because you keep repeating the story over and over again. Story, pattern, energy, archetypes. So the archetype that he's running is the outcast. I don't belong. Even though everyone in the community welcomes him, he doesn't feel like he belongs within the community. Nothing to do with the external world. Everything to do with his subconscious mind and a wound, no doubt, from somewhere in existence that he experienced. And that wound called in the archetype of the outcast. So it could go like we used the examples last week, last healing room, when I was showing how to do the integration of the archetypes. So the first step is always to go to the archetypal plane. What does that mean? It simply means I call upon the archetypal plane of existence. And on the archetypal plane, I call upon all those archetypes that are present and prevalent in my life. And so for this person, the outcast would show up. Once the outcast shows up, next question remains, why did I call you into my life? The archetypes just don't show up. There has to be a vibrational match in one's consciousness for the archetype to be present. And so the response may be, you called me into your life when you were 7 years old and you felt rejected by the kids at school. Now, that rejection right there may have simply been a catalyst for this soul to work through this archetype that it's been running perhaps for lifetimes. So if people don't aren't aware of lifetimes, then one could say, yes, it happened at 7 years old and I felt rejected. And so, okay, great. Thank you for letting me know, outcast, why it is I called you to my life. Now, the next question is, am I ready to integrate you into my heart? Am I ready to integrate you into my heart? Now, in general, when we see something in our subconscious, we then have the power of that which is being seen. We have power over it. It's no longer invisible or hidden in the background. It's now in our vision. So in general, when you find something, you're able to integrate it. But if there's any resistance to letting go of being the outcast, then it's not time to integrate. So the next question is, what is the lesson to be learned? What is the lesson from this experience? The lesson is that I belong. I fit in. Not because I'm like everybody else, but because I fit in. Because I am who I am as an individuated individual soul. And so I choose to fit in. So the lesson is to not isolate, not separate, not disconnect, but instead to do all the things you don't want to do when you're feeling like an outcast, to reach out for friends. Even though you may fear being rejected, you still do and go in the direction of what you wish to experience rather than what you do not wish to experience. Never let fear stand in the way. Never let fear stand in the way. The fear is information to move forward into the fear, and that's the breakthrough. That is how we no longer exist within the archetype of the outcast. And so, thank you, outcast, for the lesson that you just shared with me. Now, I'd like to integrate you into my heart. But before I do, is there a gift that you can give me? Is there a gift that you can give me? And there's always a gift that the archetype can offer. And so the archetype may say the gift is the gift of self-worth, or the gift of belonging, or the gift of knowing that I fit in to this community, to this family, to this reality. Whatever it may be, it's going to be unique and individual to the person doing the exercise. And so the response then is, thank you for this gift. I now integrate you into my heart. And so it no longer exists in the shadow realm. It's now been brought to light and integrated in the heart. And then the next step is to call upon the higher octave of this archetype, of the outcast. And so I call upon the higher octave of the outcast to be present with me. That is the last step. And so one waits to see who shows up, who is coming, that it is of a higher frequency, of the soul level frequency, to present itself. And it could be many different archetypes. It could be the lover, for example. It's going to be unique to each individual. And there's no wrong and there's no right. It's just who shows up. And so you say thank you to the lover if it's the lover who shows up. And then you allow the lover to integrate into your whole energetic system. Because we do want to ride the waves of the positive higher octave of the archetypes. We do want to employ them, but because we say so, not because anyone else is saying so. We are commanding them, they are not commanding us. See how that works? This is how we then become the commander of our lives as we begin to notice all the places within our subconscious where we are losing energy, where we are losing vitality. We call all those parts back. We call them into our consciousness, from the subconscious to our consciousness. We create a bridge. We wake up from the slumber, from the illusion of this world that wants to keep us out of body, dissociated, living from the neck up in our intellect, not feeling our bodies, not feeling our emotions, right? It's a machine. I call it the machine of Maya, keeping us busy all the time. Go, 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 run, 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 next, 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 faster, faster, faster. So we have to do the exact opposite. Slow down, relax, meditate, take deep breaths, drop into the body, surrender into the moment, be present. Ask others to be present when they're not present. This is how we begin to become the author and the authority of life. And then we're not losing energy. The energy within us is continuously being recycled. We are continuously being rejuvenated. Less and less, we're losing energy. More and more, we are becoming energized. Years ago, when I was beginning my practice as a healer, a holistic healer, I would do a session and then I'd have to sleep for a good hour because I was not doing the healing properly. My inner voice would say, "You're too in the way." And I was like, what does that mean? I'm too in the way. It says, "You have an attachment to people healing." And I'm like, well, they're paying me. Don't they have to get a result? No, your job is not to heal them as a healer. Your job is to be present with them and their dis-ease. Because if you heal their dis-ease, you now have to take on that dis-ease. It's up to people to heal themselves. You are the witness, you are the presence, you are the healer, but you're not the one who heals. It's that which moves through you that heals. So then I found that there was a caretaker archetype operating in the background, attached to people getting better. I want people to feel better after they're with me. That archetype was taking up a good amount of my vital force. That's why I had to take a nap after every client, to rejuvenate myself from that which I was losing because of this caretaker archetype. So I did the whole process of integrating the caretaker, called upon the higher octave of the caretaker, which is the one who self takes care of themselves. Self-love, self-care, those qualities had to be learned because part of my strategy for surviving life was to take care of everybody else, to make sure everybody else was okay, specifically in my family, and then I would be okay. I would neutralize a situation of dis-ease, but then I was taking on all the dis-ease because it's all energy. So if it leaves and transforms, it has to go somewhere. It doesn't just go into thin air unless it's fully integrated. And so, of course, I was picking up all of the lower frequencies. So these are just some examples of how these archetypes are running the show, limiting our lives, how we consider ourselves to be these ego personalities with all these limiting qualities that have really nothing to do with the real self, the true self. They're just fragments of conditioning or bookmarks in existence of experiences that we had in the past. All these experiences are experiences that we've had in the past. So that's why in the present moment, we get to shift all of that, because if we don't change the past, then our future becomes our past, or the past becomes our future. It is just this continual loop of energy, back and forth, and it bypasses the present moment. But the present moment is the only thing that's real. That's it. Everything else is just a made up construct. That's why that meditation in the beginning, witnessing and watching, watch those thoughts, watch that mind, watch the body and its sensations, but don't give it so much energy. Just let it be. Be curious. Be intrigued. And then when you catch a thought, then you can say, who is that just had that thought? Who feels guilty? Who feels angry? Who is holding on to that experience when I was 7? Who is that? Because it's not the self, it's a fragment. And that fragment then creates a story. And then that story gets concretized. And then that concretization becomes a disease in the physical body and the mind. Do you see how it works? Energy becomes form because we don't dissipate the energy, we don't integrate the shadow. So the energy eventually has to become form, and that form becomes a disease, a physical disease or a mental disease. And then we have to go back and locate what is the source of this dis-ease within me. And one of those major sources are the archetypes and the limiting belief systems they're running. These are the negative or shadow aspects of the archetypes, as opposed to the positive or the exalted aspect of the archetype. So there's lots to consider here, and it's not always easy to see oneself and to locate these archetypes. And that's why we need other people who can hold space for us, who may be able to translate what we are experiencing and find the archetype, support us in locating the archetype. So don't get frustrated when you can't see through the subconscious. We're not always going to see our own patterns. That's why it's called subconscious, below our conscious awareness. I've had many teachers help me to get to this point in life, to help me see what I wasn't seeing, to help me heal what I didn't know I needed healing with. And so we all need mentors, we all need healers to help us reveal the shadow content within the subconscious. Okay. Let me unpin and let's go to the group. Hey, everyone. So, what do you all think of this conversation since the last time we met? Any revelations, any experiences, any awarenesses you want to share? Yeah.
I have a question, Joseph. Um, in that last probably 7 minutes you were talking, did you say we have to change our past to heal today? I can't remember what the second part was, but did you say we have to go back and change our past?
We have to go back to the bookmarks where we have left a fragment of ourselves. So, can we change the past? No. We can change our relationship to the past. We can change our perception of the past. We can collect, for example, a wounded child who's stuck at a particular age, right? Say my 5-year-old was very frightened and it's still stuck there. I call that a bookmark. I then have to go back in time with my awareness and consciousness, go to the place where that child is, see what he's looking like, see what he's wearing, what he feels, and then slowly step in because he will perceive you. This is all real, by the way. Our imagination, people say, oh, that you're just making that stuff up. Everything is made up. Everything is part of the imagination. But I can tell you, these exercises work because I've done it on myself and I've done it with many clients with very positive results. So I go back in time, I look for my child for this bookmark, see what he's wearing, how he's feeling. And then I ask them, I say, so what's going on for you? And he may say, I am feeling afraid. I am feeling alone. I have nobody to protect me. And I will say, I will from now on be your protector. I am your angel. And the child will receive this, will truly receive what is happening. And then at a certain point, I always say, would you like to come with me? I am your future self. I'd like to take you with me because everything, we are safe, everything is provided for. You will love where we're going. But you never force the child to come. You simply ask, would you like to come? And if it's a yes, say, great. Anything you want to take with you. And then there's a whole exercise to do to, you know, dissolve all of that and to come into the light of the present moment. It's a unique situation each time we find a fragment, but we always have to be with whatever is present for the child. So yes, we have to go back to what I call the bookmark. The bookmark may be in the past, it could actually be in the present, in the future, because time is a spiral. It's not linear like we believe it is. So all the bookmarks have to be dealt with. But when you work with the archetypes, you can also be working with the bookmarks as well within our consciousness, within our subconscious. Does that answer your question? Does that make sense? Leanne? She may be frozen. Okay.
He must have gotten off and maybe he's going to log back in.
Here we go. Okay, good.
Back.
So did all that, did you hear all what I said?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sense?
Yeah. Can I share something?
Absolutely.
That got my attention because my mom died in spring, and I've been going through these waves of grief, which are, I don't miss my mom at all, but all these like existential reorganizing is going on, and sometimes it's really heavy and just washes over me, and I feel so lost, and then I come back up. And every one of those waves, like I look back and I'm like, wow, a lot of healing, a lot of learning happened in there. And this last wave that I just came out of was this kind of awareness that my mom just took up so much space. I couldn't work on so many like corners of my past, and I have been now, and I feel like I just have this feeling that going back and perceiving them differently, and I have been doing some inner child stuff like you were talking about, that it's going to change the now for me. And I thought, wow, am I crazy for thinking that?
No, absolutely not. Because we all have the freedom to perceive. So if I'm perceiving, for example, I'm a victim of my childhood, and I maintain that perception, then I'm stepping into that future every single day. I am living that reality every single day. But if I do the inner work and I say, I have no idea why I chose this family, this experience, but I have too much information within my own consciousness to not know that I'm the creator and I'm the cause. So if I'm the creator, I'm the cause, and I created these people who brought me up growing, when I was a child, then clearly that was supposed to happen for whatever reason. So I'm going to go into forgiveness forgive the past, forgive everyone and everything, including myself, in all time and space, past, present, and future. And in that way, I am changing my perception of what I think happened to me in my past, and I now have a different future ahead of me. I am now free. I am not a victim. I am not um, held to a ball and chain of a limiting belief system. I am liberated. So, absolutely, you change your perception of something, and it's a domino effect, past and future, of all things related to that. They also get to heal as well. And everyone related to all those things also receives the benefit of that healing. So it's so multifaceted and multidimensional, the healing work that we do. And it's the most important work from my perspective. The most important work. Yeah, we have to, deal with our third dimensional reality. But when we have free time, the real work is within us. And am I present? If I'm not present, what is going on for me? This is why I work with the flower essences so much, because they work so fast at bringing us back into the present moment. And they help us also because once we're present again, we get to see the shadow aspect because we're like, why was I doing that? Oh, that just came in. Okay, now I can integrate that piece. And so the flowers are really beneficial in quickly facilitating such integrations. So yeah, anyone that says like this, inner child work or this spiritual work or inner work is just, it's just crazy or it's all made up, I'm like, okay, if you say so. Because if somebody says that, it's the truth for them, but it's not the truth, but it's the truth for them. Whatever we say, wherever we anchor our consciousness, will be proven truthful for each person, but it doesn't mean there's any truth to what we're believing, thinking, or living. This is a really important distinction. These limiting ideas that we have about ourselves, about life, about others, about God, about whatever it is, as long as we are being run by the subconscious and our past samskaras, we will never be able to see the truth for what it is because we are veiled. There are all these veils that are covering our insight, our inner vision, our intuition. So the more inner work that we do, the more these veils lift. And the archetypes are really quite helpful in lifting these limiting veils of perception. Who else? What else?
I have a question, Joseph.
Yes, Joe.
Uh, so the what you were just talking about, especially around the archetype of the this doesn't work. This kind of stuff is nonsense. This like I'm going to call it the skeptic.
Yep.
Can we talk about this archetype too and how to work with this? What is the higher octave of the skeptic and this kind of thing?
Sure. Do you have a skeptic in you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's absolutely a skeptic. Yes.
Yeah.
This stuff will never work. I've been doing it for years. It's still I'm still insightly blind. There's too many veils. It's just darkness. Nonsense, nonsense, this
Great.
this mentor, that mentor, blah blah blah.
Good. So can we use you as the example?
Be my guest.
Okay. So we go to the archetypal plane of existence. You can close your eyes. And we go to the archetypal plane of existence. And on the archetypal plane, we call upon those archetypes that are prevalent and present in Joe's subconscious, the shadow aspects, those which are limiting his abundance on any and all levels. And so the archetype that presents itself at this moment is the skeptic. So we ask, why did Joe call the skeptic into his life? And now you simply allow yourself to notice what arises? Images, thoughts, ideas, circumstances. Why did I call the skeptic into my life? And whatever arises, you can share.
Disappointment comes up. Something being abandonment comes up around the father. Both parents actually. Criticism. Criticized for being too much, being too out there, being criticized for being for believing that stuff, but it's like that's not how the real world works.
Mm. So, because I was criticized and judged, what archetype came through so that you could survive the world and fit in?
Yeah. The archetype that says, yes, yeah, that stuff doesn't work. We need to be, we need to put our nose to the grindstone. We need to, we need to be grounded and, we need to don't go for those, don't live in a fantasy world. You're living in
Oh,
your own world.
oh, the fantasy world. So it's a fantasy world. My reality, my imagination is just a fantasy world.
Yes.
So, how in the world can I ever imagine a different reality if I don't even believe my imagination?
Mm-hmm.
I can't possibly generate that which is beyond the limitations my parents fed me. So, there's a different archetype than the skeptic there. Do you see another archetype?
Mm-hmm.
Your parents said to you, that's all nonsense. That's all fairy tales. Don't believe in all of that. So you're coping. What was the coping strategy? Because they said that to you. Instead of being in fairy tale land,
A realist.
I'm going to be the realist. And the realist says what?
I follow the rules. I do what I'm told. I excel in all the places that I will feel rewarded in, acceptable, that are acceptable to other people.
Good. And what do I have to sacrifice to be the realist?
Everything that I want.
I have to sacrifice my soul's desire. So the first archetype to deal with is the realist. So, realist, I am aware that I called you into my life because my parents said that I need to keep my feet on the ground. I need to keep my awareness in this third dimensional world. I need to be real about working hard to earn a buck. So, I'm aware of how much energy this is taking from my vital force. And I'm aware that I have another part of me that would like to begin to shine from now on. So, am I ready to integrate you into my heart? And what does it say? Are you ready, willing, and able to give up, to surrender the realist that you took on when you were younger?
Yeah, it feels like a relief.
Yes, good. Great. Before I integrate you into my heart, realist, what is the gift that you can give me?
Stamina.
Stamina. Good. Stamina in what?
In meeting life's challenges, in because there are many things that come through, and you can be steadfast. You have the ability to weather storms.
Great. Steadfastness, stamina, the capacity to weather every and all storms that come your way. Wonderful. I now integrate the realist into my heart. Thank you so much for these lessons and your presence in my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So we bring light to the shadow. We bring from the subconscious to our conscious mind this archetype, and then we bring it into the portal of the heart, the light of consciousness. We are enlightening the darkness. Now I call upon the higher octave of the realist to be with me now. And who shows up when you call upon the higher octave?
The visionary.
The visionary. Yes. How can you be a visionary if you are held down and concretized by the realist? The realist can't see the greater vision. Well done. I now receive within all of my being, heart, and soul all the positive aspects of the visionary, the seer, the one who knows, the one who generates the future now. And then just feel your whole energetic body receiving the gift of the visionary.
Wow.
So as you integrate that, let's see, is the skeptic still present there now? Is there any doubt that you can do what you can do?
No.
There you go. So that archetype was containing numerous other archetypes. So that's why when you find that key archetype, that domino that you touch it and it begins to clear all the other energies, all the other limitations. So now the receptor is pretty open as is in the in-between stages. So you just notice if any thoughts arise in the next coming days and weeks that say, I can't possibly do that. And you say, thank you for your opinion. We're now the visionary. Anything is possible. So you see the old droplets from the subconscious may want to return, but we have to reprogram it immediately and say, thank you so much for your opinion. Those are not our thoughts anymore. We are now the visionary, and we take risks. We jump off cliffs, and we trust that whatever it is that we do, the universe has our back, because nothing can stop me from fulfilling my soul's calling. Nothing. And so now that this archetype is integrated, there should be more ease and flow at manifestation, because the archetype he was running doesn't believe in such things. Therefore, no matter what he was trying to manifest, the subconscious would always stop it because we don't believe in such things. The realist doesn't believe in such things. So you can see how many obstacles that archetype was placing in Joe's life. Anything else, Joe?
Joe, that was really amazing. And I was, yeah, because for the past couple hours and into the beginning of this, I was having these kind of like, right in the solar plexus, these kind of like little spasms, these like little like tightening muscly spasms, um, that just kind of like came out of nowhere. And this work, it like that released, and it was like a wave of I don't know, effulgence. I'm amazed at how quickly like I was able to pinpoint everything too. So thank you. That's really profound.
Yes, because you have vision
Ah,
and you've not been honoring your vision. And so we kind of touched the aspect that wasn't allowing you to share your vision, and you just collected, you went right back into that normal, it's a normal space for you, but you kept putting it on the side. Now it's front and center.
ah,
So honor that vision from now on.
thank you.
Well done. Well done. So y'all see how that works? The power of working with these archetypes and the subconscious. It's incredible. And then the ego personality will say, "Oh, that's just made up." I love that part of the. I've had many of those types of people and in my family, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm not going to try to change their mind. You cannot change people's mind. You have to have direct experience in order to know this stuff is real. And I have so much direct experience that my little ego personality cannot intervene or enter fear anymore. It can't bring fear in because I have too much faith and trust. But it's a practice. It's a daily practice to trust these invisible aspects, these imaginary aspects of life and creation. Anyone else? Who else?
I have two things that came to mind. One, Joseph, thank you for sharing, because as Joseph was working with you, I started being selfish and saying, well, what's my archetype? And like partially listening to your answers. But, I thought I was going down one track. And by answering the questions Joseph was asking you, it was opening up so much to me. So I love this community because just through people sharing and going through their own guided revelations with Joseph Aldo, like there's this potential for everyone to have these constant like ahas if we um, so choose, I guess. And I also really understood that this is difficult to do alone. That where I started was the archetype of unworthiness. And it wasn't that. It's as you were asking the different questions, you guided me to it's the archetype of the judge. I'm like, damn, that bitch is still here. Shah. Um, but so good. And on my own, I would think I would have circled around in a little journal around unworthiness and gone to my inner child and said, you're worthy, you're cherished. And um, so thank you.
Sure thing. You're welcome. I thought it was the good girl last time we did this.
It was, but what's interesting at the end, the higher octave is the loving mother.
I see.
And the last time the little girl was Amma, was the loving mother.
Yeah. Universal Mother. Yeah. Beautiful. Well done. Yeah. To do this type of work requires honesty and authenticity, being real with yourself, because I don't want to see these ugly shadow aspects about myself. I want to be love and light. I want to be holy spiritual. So when this stuff comes up, it's like It's kind of creepy. It's kind of like, I'm that? Really? And the answer is we're everything. There's nothing that we're not in existence. So we might as well accept everything that I am the judge, I am the realist, I am the good boy, good girl. I'm all of it. I'm not attached to any of it. So if you don't get it, if you're not attached to the negative aspect, you'll see it easily and clearly. But it requires awareness. It requires the authenticity of your presence that I accept that I could be anything. I could be a murderer. I could be whatever it is. I could be that, and maybe I was that in some aspect of existence and with some incarnation. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. So the more real we become with ourselves, the more open, honest, authentic, the more we're able to see these archetypes that are in shadow in the background. Good stuff. Who else?
I have a question, Joseph.
Yes, Allison.
Um, so in the meditation, how like okay, so being in the witness of this life and I'm witnessing these experiences that I'm experiencing, or whoever the witness is witnessing the experience. Um, so then I think for me, one question that always comes in is around choice versus I don't even know, like do we have choice or free will? Or are we being like a puppet? Like I used to have this feeling of just being a puppet to um whoever was controlling or like whoever was guiding my journey. So that could be in one way God, or it could be in another way, I don't like a controller. So I think that then if I'm of witness and I am here of witness to this process, then what if I have desire to do something like I want to go to Joseph Aldo's class tonight, or I want to grow flowers, or I want to study flower essence, or so desire, where does it, is that coming in through the programming, like through,
Great.
yeah, so this is where I'm at.
That is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a tricky one because, like the Buddhists say, let go of all desire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I let go of all desire, then how do I know what to do with this life? How do I know how to direct myself?
Yes.
And then the question is, well, am I following my little ego self? Am I following my higher self in making decisions? So one has to come in contact with the inner authority to know if the path one is treading is the true path, is the soul's path. So we have free will to follow our soul's path. Get that? We have free will to follow our soul's path. We have free will to not follow our soul's path, which equals suffering. So it doesn't mean that if you follow your soul's path, there's no suffering. But if you're on the soul's path, that suffering is part of the path of integration, as opposed to not following the soul's path. And then you're hit with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. That's a different suffering. That's ignorance. To ignore the guidance, to ignore one's intuition is to suffer, is to follow one's ego self personality. That's not the path. The path is being in the body, noticing and feeling what we feel. The body knows what the next step is on the soul's path. That's why I use my body as a pendulum. Like if someone says, "Hey, do you want to go to the beach tomorrow?" It's like, the body says no. My mind says yes. My body's moving back, right? Back is a no, forward is a yes. Contraction is a no, expansion is a yes. So, in order to know your truth, your soul's path, you have to be in your body. You have to be in the authority, in the center. So, I don't have much desire these days. So I know what my path is because a desire will arise in my body. Oh, we need to call this person about this thing. Well, that's interesting. Okay. So my being is more part of a greater being. Like my higher self is running the show at this point. I've done the inner work so that I am very seamlessly connected to my higher self. Guidance comes through all the time, all the time. But yes, I did desire the house that I'm in. I imagined it years ago. And I still can't tell you who actually desired it and who actually imagined it, to be honest. Was it already my destined path? And I just spoke these words because part of me knew it was my destined path. So I said these words, I want to live in a house with high ceilings, as if I'm living in nature, overlooking nature with lots of space around me. I mean, it's exactly to a T the words that I said. But who said the words? I was so aligned with my higher self. So my higher self spoke it through me, and that speaking manifests in the world. So desire is a tricky terrain, because God has a desire to have certain experiences through one of its drop souls, one of its sparks. God wants to have a desire through one of its sparks. Then at a certain point, there's no difference between God and the spark, right? I am walking with God every day. So if I have a desire to do something, give this person $100, go and do this, go and do that, then that's actually God's desire. But you have to be your own authority to know that, to be able to discern between your ego, which is taking you off path, and your higher self, which is maintaining the path. Does all that make sense, Allison?
Yeah, clearly, yes. Yeah, it's really great. I also, the word manifestation, I think is hard for me. You didn't say it in this, but you said it earlier, and I think that something of manifestation, like I have some like block there because I'm like, I'm not really manifesting anything. It's just like maybe like divine inspiration, and then that is of interest or desire of like the house, like exactly what you were describing with your house. So then when I hear the word manifestation, I don't know how to digest that because I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. So let's do a subconscious purge. Just say whatever comes into your mind. I really don't want to manifest because
I'm afraid of fucking up.
I really don't want to manifest because
I'm afraid of fucking up.
I really don't want to manifest because I'm going to fuck up what?
I don't even know.
Just make it up. I'm
Yeah,
tracking.
I'm gonna fuck everything up.
What does that mean? Whose voice is that? Who's talking?
The ego, the one in control of my life.
Who's the one in control of your life? Who did you give control over to for your life?
Wow, that comes to like the god, some god,
Yep,
the puppeteer.
you got it.
Yeah,
Who is it?
I think it's a god source, some god figure.
It's a false god.
Yeah, I,
So who's the false god? Why did you call a false god into your life?
Just the word confusion came in.
I was confused and I needed someone to direct me.
Yeah, I don't know which way to go.
I don't know which way to go in life, so I need someone to direct me. So I
Yeah.
called in a false god.
Well, I don't know if in my mind it's hard for me to agree with the word false god. I'm trying to.
Okay, I called in a god.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So ask the god, what is your purpose in being in my life and running the show?
Can you say it once more? Because I just went a little blurry.
Right. This is exactly why you called upon it. So,
Yes.
why did I call upon a God to direct me in my life?
Fear,
And what is it that I'm afraid of?
bucking out,
I'm afraid of making mistakes.
mistakes. Yes,
So I can't be my own authority.
yes, yes,
So I
exactly.
need to give the power over to someone else or something else.
Yes.
Great. What's the lesson? Why did I do? What is the lesson I came to learn that I did this?
Um, Reclaiming my own authority.
Correct. What else?
Something with regaining my own power and my own trust
Good.
and my own decision making.
Good. Also, reclaiming my own embodiment.
Hmm.
So I reclaim the authority, the power, the decision making. I I am the decider. I am the authority. I am the embodiment. I know. I know. Ask the archetype, ask this God, if you are ready and willing and able to integrate it into your heart.
It's interesting because like the God was like yes, and then there was like a little fear, and
Okay,
I'm like yes, and there's a little fear sitting
you
there,
got it. You got it. So let's talk to that fear. What are we afraid of?
making mistakes.
What does that mean? What mistake could you possibly make that would be so fearsome?
Anything where I would have regret. It could be making a decision that costed a lot of my time, energy, and perceivably would take me off track of, I don't even know, but take me off track of living a life that I was enjoying.
So, can you allow yourself to make mistakes? Can you forgive yourself for all past perceived mistakes?
I think I'm working on the forgiveness.
I forgive myself
I
for
forgive my.
all perceived
Mhm.
past mistakes.
Yes.
Good. There's no such thing as a mistake.
Hmm.
Even the mistakes are part of the path.
Hmm.
You're never going to be off path, but the fear of being off path will continuously keep you off path.
Mm.
You get it?
Yeah.
So, what you're afraid of creating, you're
Mm.
actually living.
Yeah.
You're already off path because the fear keeps throwing you out of your body and out of your authority. So, in order to truly fulfill your soul's purpose, you're going to need to allow yourself to make, quote, mistakes.
Mhm.
I allow myself to make mistakes because
Mhm.
even mistakes are part of the path. I rather make mistakes than be continuously indecisive.
Mhm.
I don't need anyone else to tell me what to do. I know what serves me best because I'm actually plugged in and I let go of making mistakes. I
Mhm.
let go of the idea that I'm making mistakes.
Mhm.
This is for all of us. You
Mhm.
have to be willing to make, quote, mistakes. How many mistakes I've made, how much money I have lost, supposedly. Supposedly. My inner voice says you cannot lose what is yours. You cannot lose what is yours. So if that's the truth, what mistakes can we actually make? Now ask this archetype if you're ready, willing, and able to integrate it into your heart.
Mhm.
Great. Before it integrates, ask it, what gift can you give me?
Exuberance,
Exuberance. What else?
joy,
Mm-hmm. What else?
energy,
Trust.
trust, and energy, like more, yeah, like life force energy.
Good.
Um, yeah, trust is just yes in there.
Good.
Like, yeah.
Good. So you integrate the archetype. Yes?
One more is like clear direction. It's kind of like the vision in like clear direction,
Yeah.
like clarity.
Yep.
Hmm.
Now integrate the archetype into your heart. And as it integrates, you call upon the higher octave of God. What is the higher octave that wants to present itself to you?
The first thing that came in was like oneness or like a universal like omnipresence.
Okay. Let's get more specific.
Mhm. Um, it again, it's that there's something with this like direct like line, like a direct knowing or something like divine inspiration or like a I don't know what the word I would say, but this like channel of direction, clarity, purpose, connection.
So those are all qualities of the archetype.
Okay. I mean, I'm just seeing like a universe actually. Like it's this omnipotent, this like universe. Like I'm just seeing like all these stars and
hmm It could be the seer,
mhm.
the knower.
Yeah, the knower, the seer. Yes.
hmm So allow yourself to bring this archetype into your field of consciousness. Let it weave into your field of consciousness. I know I am the authority. I am embodied wisdom. So I am now planting seeds in the subconscious as we dissolve the previous iteration. We're now going to plant seeds for something more benevolent to grow. So remember, the subconscious is patterns, programs, repetition. So you repeat things over and over again. I am embodied wisdom. I have clear direction. I know. I am the authority. Whenever you say I am, it's a very powerful statement. I am the authority. I am embodied wisdom. So these are ways to rewrite the programming in the subconscious mind. You know, call them affirmations. They work, but they're not going to work if you don't uproot the weed that is not allowing for the affirmation to take root. You always have to weed the garden of the subconscious mind because these patterns just keep coming back because they're so used to being there like weeds. They just keep coming back. I am constantly weeding my garden down below, constantly weeding it. They come back. So this is the real work, to be the authority, to be the witness, to watch the ego mind with its limited thoughts, to start pulling the weeds, to see where the weeds go, to follow the thread, to uproot the cause, integrate the shadow, call upon the higher octave, reprogram. That's it. That's the path. That's the inner work. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Do you feel the difference in your body,
Yeah.
Allison?
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm liking this a lot. I wish there was thousands of people seeing this because everyone gets to benefit by each person's integration. And then you start to hear your own, archetypes within there and you get more specific. Good stuff. Anyone else? Yes, Claudia.
Well, I'm here with all these archetypes flowing around me, and this space of not allowing myself to make mistakes is so profound within me. And also because of that judging, everything, and trying to not in many ways not lose control, but it's so subtle now that I think I let go of this part, but I didn't. So yeah, I would love to look into that, together.
Are you aware of the archetype that is running the show in the background? That
Not really,
says, go ahead.
I guess, because it's really making havoc in many ways. I think it's a complex, maybe because the stories that I created has many, I don't know,
Right.
mycelium.
I understand. So bring up one aspect that could be one archetype that could be related to I don't want to make any mistakes.
Uh,
Who doesn't want to make mistakes?
the knower that knows the know-it-all.
The know-it-all. So I'm going to be a know-it-all so I don't have to ever make mistakes. That sounds like control.
Yeah.
Do you have a controlling thing in your life? Do you like to be in control?
Well, I yes, and I think I yes, I do. I do in many ways. I can see that in many aspects.
Okay, so that may be the weed tree that
Mm,
is feeding all the other weeds.
yeah, the feeling, the fear of being out of control.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's more than well, the fear puts me in the way all the time to being in control.
That's right. So let's check in with the archetype and see why you called it. So we call upon the archetypal realm. We're all already there already. And we call upon the archetypes that are most prevalent and present in Claudia's life. And so let's allow the controller to show up. And so, controller, why did Claudia call you into her life?
Because to manage chaos.
You got it. We look for the controller whenever we feel out of control or in chaos. So, was there a time in your life you were in chaos?
Yes, I think most of my life I maybe have been calling chaos to experience that. You
So
know,
like
I
you're
felt totally in chaos with my mother.
okay.
That was, I felt like I was her filter for her not to lose. So that was profound.
Okay. So because I grew up with such chaos rather than grounding, I called upon the controller to minimize any more drama or the unknown where I could just maintain control of life. Okay, makes total sense that the child would go to a place of control. Makes total sense. So, very wise child to employ that coping strategy. But now there's diminishing returns, of course, because you don't need to be in control anymore. You're not a child. You're in your own environment. You're creating your own environment. So that archetype is no longer serving you. And so you ask the archetype, what am I ready to integrate you into my heart?
Yes.
Okay. What is the lesson to be learned from the controller?
I think the lesson is surrender and letting go.
You got it. That is the lesson, to surrender and let go. What do you have to surrender and let go of? Yes, control, but there's more.
Yeah. I have to surrender and let go of outcomes.
Yes, you have to surrender into the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, I get to surrender and float in the unknown of what's going to unfold
Yeah.
because truly I don't know anything.
Exactly.
Good. Very good. So the lesson to be learned is to surrender and to let go of control, of the outcome, of knowing anything. So I surrender into the void of not knowing. Very good. So you allow the archetype, well, the next step is asking the archetype for a gift.
I think the gifts, and there are many gifts, but it's um, to make my own decisions and
What does that mean to make your own decisions?
to be free, to be me. You know, to just uh, to enjoy life, to enjoy my life. Um, um, I think that the most gift I think that I can receive is to fully surrender, to have this experience, to feel in my whole being that I truly surrender.
Yeah, that you trust.
Yeah, that
You
trust
trust.
that I can really do it, that I can really have this experience.
It's a trust that you are held. It's
Yeah,
a
I don't.
trust, correct. It's a trust that if you surrender, you will be held because your mother didn't hold you.
Yeah,
So you had to be the one who held for everyone. That's what control is. You take care of everything and everyone with your consciousness, with your being. I'm going to hold everyone because I really want to be held. So we give usually to others what it is we want
Mm.
for ourselves. So now you get to receive. See, you take a nice deep breath in. Now you get to receive being held. And when someone's holding you, you can completely and utterly let go of all of control, all the muscles, all the thoughts get to just go because I am held. I'm held by God, the universe, the angels, my lineage, the earth holds me. I am so held, safe, protected, and I get to let go of control 100%. Good. And allowing the archetype, the controller, to integrate into your heart, thanking it. Thank you so much for the lessons and for surrenderance. Thank you. You say this to the archetype. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All the gifts. The archetypes are just here as teachers. So we learn the lessons, we receive the gifts, and then we graduate. We graduate to the next octave. And so we call upon the higher octave of the controller. And which archetype shows up?
It comes to me, the giver. I don't know if it is the giver. Ah, it's just
Who's the giver? Which archetype?
mm, it is the healer.
The healer.
Yeah.
Okay. So allow the healer to integrate
The seer,
the seer,
the knower. There is a deep clarity.
deep clarity.
Yeah.
What is that clarity?
Of love.
Yes.
Yeah, love.
I'm also seeing another archetype, and I'm seeing the mother,
Mm, yeah.
the mother who holds the child. So let's let the mother come in, that you are held, that you are loved, you are cared for, you're protected, you're safe. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a thing. Mother takes care of all. You are loved, held, safe, protected. You don't have to control anymore. And allow the archetype to fully embrace you, to fully be with you. Good, very good. Feel the difference? So anytime your ego personality wants to go into the old patterns, you get to say, we don't do that anymore. We trust, we allow, we surrender, we let go, and we're held by the mother. So again, the old patterns love to come back in because it's all new. We're in an in-between stage when we integrate the archetype. So we have to let it know. We have to give them the new program because it keeps forgetting. It wants to go back to the old program. So we affirm, We don't have to do this anymore. I like to say, thank you so much for your opinion. We don't do that anymore. I talk to this mind of mine as if it's some entity because, it likes to chatter. And I just say, thanks for your opinion. We don't do that because I am the authority, not the chattering teeth. I am the authority. And I decide what we will do or we won't do. The I is the I am presence within. That is the authority, not the chattering mind. Well done, Claudia.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Mhm.
That was really beautiful. I received a lot in my heart from that.
Ah, I receive. My heart is so grateful and open. Thank you so much
You're welcome.
for this beautiful work you do.
You're
May you
welcome.
be blessed and that your heart receive in exponentially what we give us, what you give us.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. So you got to see in that example, or everyone, so she called in, her higher octave was the healer. So the one doing the work with you is the tracker, is the witness. So I was in her experience, and in her experience, I saw this divine mother because the healer felt okay, but it didn't fully resonate. There was something that really encapsulated what she needed to experience as a higher octave. So I named it and I said it sounds like the mother. And it was spot on, right? So our presence makes a huge difference in someone else's life. Our witnessing makes a huge difference. So never underestimate, no matter what level of consciousness you may think you're holding, it doesn't matter. Presence is presence. Listening is listening. Anyone can do what I just did. It's just trusting. So, first of all, it's emptying the mind of trying to do anything. There's nothing to do when holding space for people. It's emptiness is the one that's holding space. I don't do anything. I am the witness. I am the presence. That's what's doing all of the work. And so when you're present with someone, information just comes right through. The right information, the right guidance comes right through. But you can also do this for yourself. But it's a practice. Practice makes perfect. Sitting with yourself, tuning in. How do I feel? Am I present? Am I past? Am I future? Where am I right now? What do I need right now? Right? Because, I can get very busy in my mind. I'm very busy schedule, writing books and seeing clients and schedules and texts and email. It just goes on and on. So at a certain point in the day, I have to stop and say, how are you doing? Are you getting your needs met? Are you in your body? Are you well nourished? Are you fed? Are you hydrated? What's going on for you? I have to come back to myself because this is it. If this isn't taken care of, no one else is taken care of. And if I'm not enjoying it, if I'm not taking care of things in joy, then I'm missing something. I'm not receiving the gifts that I am giving. And I have to be in that flow, right? In the beginning, the flow of the heart is giving and it's receiving, and it's a one and the same thing. We always must be included in whatever we are offering and whatever we're giving. That's not selfishness. That is including the self in the equation. And as a caretaker archetype that I have held in the past, I have to make sure that I am included in the equation because I will just dissociate and go into that pattern. So, this is how we nourish and take care of ourselves and check in daily on a regular basis to make sure one is present, one is in the body, one is well nourished, and then you are on the path. That's it. If all those are in alignment, you're on the path. Questions, comments, sharings? Yes, Suzanne.
I am, I was deeply with you, Claudia, in your process. And thank you, Joseph, for the guidance, because I have that controlling archetype. And I've been working with it lately in a specific situation, and I was surrendering, but this just really brought it all together. And the gift that came to me was an image of a sacred heart. It's a sacred heart that's vibrant. You may see a sacred heart in a picture of Christ or something.
Yes.
That full trusting heart. And so thank you, Claudia, for doing that work and allowing me to piggyback. And I find that the sessions that you give allows us to be the witness, to start training
Yes.
the witness a little bit.
Yes.
As you guide us very individually, but as a group. And I really appreciate that. One thing I wanted to say, because it came up earlier for me, is when I'm in the grips of an archetype, I have bodily sensations. It was like Joe said that at the beginning, he had those knots in his stomach. And for me, it's like a certain frantic energy, almost like I'm being chased. Something is about to gobble me up. And when that sensation comes, it's like, whoa, step back. What's going on here?
You got it. It's all just information. So if we don't go into fear and dissociation, then we go into alignment and dropping into the body and say, what's going on for you? So you talk to that part. Some part of you goes into that franticness, like something is there. So we go and we communicate to it. We commune with it. It's a part. So we bring that part closer and say, what are you experiencing? They're coming after me. Who's coming after you? Right? And it could be a past life memory. They're trying to kill me. Who's trying to kill you? Is there anyone trying to kill you now? You have to speak to this part because it's lost in time. So we bring it to the present moment to integrate it into the present because it's lost. So you have to find it. You have to guide it. You have to say, we're in a different time zone. What do you need? What do you need right now? I need to feel safe. Okay. Do you want to come with me? You're a portal. The present you is a portal to all of your parts that are lost somewhere in time, in the illusion of time. And you get to go as an angelic force and say, I'm here to save you. I'm here to protect you. Come. Do you want to come with me? Well, I'm not sure. Well, what do you need to be sure? How can I help you be sure? So you just keep asking questions until they surrender and come with you because you are presence. So what we tend to do is contract and run away from as opposed to drop in and integrate with. This is the hard work. Drop in, integrate with. I'm just making this stuff up. Great, make it up. Who cares? The mind is going to chime in. This isn't real. Thank you for your opinion. We're going to keep going. The imagination is very, very real. How do you think everything happens in this world? It's imagined. But somehow we use our imagination in the invisible realm and it's woo-woo. No, it's absolutely as real as this glass with tea in it. Somebody imagined this and now it exists. So never discount your vision, never discount your imagination, never discount the inner work that you do. Know it's real, know that it works, know that it's having a significant impact on life. Just know it and proceed forward. I don't even think about it. My mind won't even dare say something like that to me because it's more real than this world, my imagination. My inner reality, where I travel a lot, is more real than the illusion here. But that's because I've cultivated it. Anybody can cultivate it. And then you see something in this world and it will manifest, sometimes instantaneously. That's how much power there is within us. If you read the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, I've read it many years ago and I'm reading it again. And it's just mind-blowing what all these, master teachers in the Himalayas were doing, you know? Mind-blowing. And I absorb all of it as possibility. Oh, we all can do this. We all can say stop to an avalanche and it stops until all the students walk across. And then you say go and it goes again. We all have that power. But we have to dissolve the non-self so we can get back to the state of inner authority where we say something and it just happens. It's a law. Ask and it is given. Ask and it is given. It's not ask and maybe it will be given. It's ask. Just for the asking, it's already given. It's done. But you have to be an open receptor for that precept to land. You have to clear all aspects that say, no, I'm not worthy of receiving. All that nonsense has to dissolve in order for us to be the authority. Manifest, materialize. How do you think we're creating heaven on earth? It looks like hell on earth right now. There's a lot of chaos. But to me, I see heaven on earth. I am manifesting heaven on earth, and it starts with me. It starts with me. It starts with you. Don't wait. If you wait, you'll wait a long time. I just let the chaos do what it does, clean up the mess that's been made, but we're already in heaven on earth. We're already in the new paradigm. We are it. And this is part of the new paradigm work to do so we can keep manifesting it because it's all about trust, surrender, letting go, the emptiness, embodiment, intuition, inner knowing, inner authority. On and on it goes. All the positive qualities of the soul. That's the new paradigm. And that is the practice that we are here to do. What a great evening. Thank you so much for all of your presences. So awesome. So awesome. Truly. It makes a difference. I don't know who I'd be talking to if you weren't here. You y'all are very important. You know, I got to transmit this stuff because if I just hold it in, what is the point if you don't give away what you've learned in a lifetime, right? We each have these gifts, and the whole point is to share those gifts with the world, give it away with no expectations. So I am planting many, many seeds, and they may take root in a year, 10 years, 10 lifetimes. It doesn't matter. Just keep showing up and you will receive the transmission and it will take you where it needs to take you. So I wish you all a wonderful rest of the year, holiday, new year, and we'll come back together on January 15th. And until then, be well. You're welcome, Valerie. You're welcome, Kimberly. Thank you all for your presence and for your vulnerability and for your open hearts and for sharing. I really appreciate all of you.